Joe Rogan just figured out a detail about 50 Cent's documentary that no one even thought of. Because once you connect all the dots, you see that it's not just Diddy who was guilty. After the announcement of Season 2 of 50's documentary, some of the biggest names in the industry are worried. And in this video, we're going to uncover everyone that Joe named, along with all the elites that were involved in these crimes, starting with Diddy and going all the way to the top.
And then there's also like people that are elites, and that's their thing. Like their thing is to do something that is horrible, and it's not available to other people. So it's like, I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power, and then well, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? Like all this Diddy shit out. Like,
I was just gonna say, doesn't that sound topical?
Jesus Christ! The first day of the trial, did you pay attention to any of that stuff? I looked at it for like 10 minutes this morning, and I was like, I gotta stop. I can't look at this.
Well, what freaks me out is the people sitting in the courtroom listening to it.
Right.
And there's a wide spectrum of people that are getting subjected to it, and you just sit there and go.
Yeah, well, not only that, how about the fact that this guy was running this for decades? He was doing this for decades to who knows how many fucking people, and everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have them killed.
You see, what no one is realizing is just the sheer extent of the power that Diddy had and the kinds of people he was connected to. If you take a step back and follow the clues, you'll see that Diddy wasn't just any other music producer. He was connected to some of the most powerful people on the planet and across multiple countries. 3 different US presidents and vice presidents, including Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Kamala Harris, were all photographed at Diddy's parties. He was connected to the British royal family.
Apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool.
We wearing a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
The guy's good. The guy's good, y'all. Let's give it up for him.
I appreciate you guys.
Peace.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Well, not anymore. After more than a year in prison, Diddy has asked the White House for a pardon, and Donald Trump is shutting him down.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah, that's according to the president himself, who spoke to the New York Times on Wednesday, explaining the request came in a letter. Details of the alleged letter haven't been divulged. But Trump did say he's not planning to commute the mogul sentence. He didn't say why, but it's a move the president has been thinking about for months. Here's what he told reporters during Diddy's marathon trial in May.
He used to really like me a lot. I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact.
News of the rejected pardon coming about a month after Diddy's legal team filed to appeal his sentence and conviction.
It's not just a coincidence that Diddy was friends with all these people. He was planning to use them as leverage and blackmail them. Now guess which name keeps popping up in these conversations? Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted trafficker. And here's the thing. Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy were both connected to these elites. But when it actually came to the trial, no one else was named. You're telling me Diddy was throwing parties for elites, but no one else was involved in criminal behavior. Who were the people Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy were actually working with or working for?
Well, Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get
think he's
hit up.
Saying though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another Epstein.
There's
it's Ghislaine Maxwell, where
there's
someone indicted and nobody else indicted for kids to.
Right,
no
to no one. Right. We're like, what is the next crazy thing that's going to explode in the news? Is Bill Clinton's going to have an OnlyFans? Like, what is going to happen? What is the next thing that's going to make us all go, what the what the is going on?
It's coming. You know,
how many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how Ashton Kutcher, all these people. Like, you guys all went. You didn't see nothing? You didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell.
This isn't just a random allegation. Rumors of Diddy's involvement as an informant using his position have been around for years. Suge Knight been in jail for years, and he says that everyone in the street suspected Diddy of being an informant. His behavior and the way he would drug and press people for secrets tipped him off.
How does it go on for so long? You know, when we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, you know? And as you know, all these people get tired of their rap.
This is only the tip of the iceberg. The person closest to Diddy throughout his entire career, the one person who actually saw Diddy dealing directly with officials from inside the government, was Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard. Gene saw it with his own eyes. Diddy was working as a confidential informant for the federal government. Diddy's confidence came from the fact that he was a snitch. He wasn't untouchable because he was powerful. He was untouchable because he was useful. As long as Diddy continued supplying intelligence, the feds had no reason to come after him. This is what people don't realize. Diddy and Jeffrey weren't just random criminals, they were working for someone.
They'll let you do crimes, long as you don't do no murders and stuff like that. They'll let you go around and pay you to protect them. You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for an FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hire lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them, and investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
Joe Rogan laid out Diddy's entire plan, and once he saw 50 Cent's documentary, all the dots finally connected in a way no one saw coming. Some of the victims in Diddy's trial gave sworn testimony that other people were present with Diddy during his freak-offs, but no one was named in the trial. How is this possible? It was the same playbook Joe saw with Jeffrey, and the pattern was matching down to a T.
Diddy was rogue, or Diddy was like a Epstein type, working for somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrities. Yeah, and get them to say whatever you want them to do, get them to do whatever projects you'd like them to do. And, you know, if you're a bunch of other celebrities are there, you're like, oh, look, Bill Clinton's here. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is cool. Look at this. Like, Brad Pitt's here. Oh, this is cool. You don't even think there's anything wrong with being there. Meanwhile, you're getting drugged up and filmed. And then they're passing out punch. Have some punch, Aaron. And you have some punch, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm feeling really good. I just feel amazing. You're all mollied up. You don't know what the you're doing. Probably a combination of things they give you.
And it's all being filmed.
Crazy. Now, if that's not an intelligence agency operation, it's just one evil super genius who figures out how to compromise everybody by providing this crazy freak-off party. Everybody's got to put their phones away. Okay, we're going to put our phone away. No one's going to know anything. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get cameras everywhere. It's just one guy doing that. What a diabolical human being.
Yeah.
He seems pretty diabolical.
He's probably working with somebody. Or for somebody.
Maybe.
This is where the story takes an even darker turn. Diddy wasn't just involved in gathering information. He was involved in murder and taking people out. When Diddy couldn't blackmail his way into winning, he would use violence, and the evidence 50 Cent presented in his documentary is proof of this. Tupac and Biggie's murder is the perfect example of this.
Also, it's like there was always so much East Coast, West Coast shit that's still like in the zeitgeist, you know, like with Biggie and Tupac, and they were all hating at each other, and they both got. There was a lot going on, and then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved and Suge Knight was involved.
Speaking of, I think Suge Knight's the one who said the thing I just thought of.
What thing?
About that they were there to delete stuff.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said Luke from 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, he said he was to leave early.
Yeah,
or something, right?
when Luke from 2 Live Crew is leaving early, like, you got a wild party. What if what's happening is too f***ed up for Luke from 2 Live Crew? Like, check please. There's so many different stories. Who knows?
Diddy warned Tupac and actually ordered a hit on him twice. The first time it happened was almost 2 years before Tupac's death. On November 30th, 1994, Tupac was robbed and shot multiple times in the lobby of Quad Recording Studios in Manhattan as he arrived for a late-night session. The official police report claimed that it was a robbery, but none of Pac's jewelry was stolen. Tupac later stated in an interview that he knew Diddy was behind this shooting. It doesn't take a genius to realize that if someone is getting shot but nothing gets stolen, then it isn't a robbery. It's a planned hit.
You think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proof, things that I can say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue, because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, we did, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit. The 4th issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me? How'd I get gunpowder all over me? That insulted my intelligence. So yes, I did say Thug Life was there. Yes, I bowed out, all of that. But when they said that, they breathed new life in me.
Tupac knew Diddy was involved and what Diddy was trying to say. Come after me, and this is what will happen. At the same time, Diddy getting away with the shooting completely was a hint. I'm not going to get caught no matter what I do. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. Almost 2 years after the shooting at Quad Studios, on September 13th, 1996, Tupac was killed in a Las Vegas drive-by shooting. This shooting would go on to change the very landscape of hip-hop and help Diddy take over.
I think my favorite thing about 50 Cent's Netflix Diddy documentary is how he built a timeline off of this information. And one of my favorite parts of this documentary is them really getting into the timeline of events when it comes to Tupac and Biggie. And it really gives us a lot of perspective from people that were close to the situation, and a lot of people allege in this documentary that they believe that Diddy was very jealous of Tupac. And they pretty much go through everything from the Quad incident and Tupac believing that Puffy was behind it, like he said in the Vibe interview, and they lay out this whole timeline of the downfall happening perfectly, in my opinion. We are even hearing from Greg Kading, the detective that worked on Tupac and Biggie's case in this documentary. He is the investigator that did that proffer agreement with Keefe D way back in 2008, where Keefe D alleged that Diddy tried to offer him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And Tupac's trial with Keefe D is coming up very soon in early 2026, and we know that Diddy's name has been dropped at least 200 times during these proceedings already. So this is one case that I am definitely waiting for and I am going to cover. In KPD's 2008 proper agreement, he alleged that Diddy's friend Zip Martin is the one that gave him the weapon that was used to take out Tupac. And KPD told the investigator Greg Kading that Zip Martin had a special compartment to keep this weapon in his car that he drove to Las Vegas. And in this documentary, we have Greg Kading confirming that Zip Martin did drive the same type of vehicle that KPD alleged to Las Vegas this night. And then during this documentary, we heard from the former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, who alleged during this time, Diddy had him hiring a whole bunch of people and getting cars to drive to Las Vegas. And he is now very curious into why Diddy wanted to do this. And he said, in his opinion, he now believes that Diddy was behind taking out Tupac.
50 Cent's documentary didn't just give Joe Rogan the evidence. He needed to see what was happening. 50 included witness statements and video footage that not even the cops had. And now, an investigation into the murder of Tupac has been started. Tupac's family actually hired lawyer Alex Spiro to look into the accusations and the footage. An officer that was originally on the Tupac case even commented on the situation and mentioned that they were expecting a full investigation to be reopened.
We are following new developments in the case of the hip-hop mogul who is facing RICO charges in New York. Sean P. Diddy Combs. Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
Jaguar Wright, a name that has been involved with Jay-Z and Diddy, said out loud what no one was willing to say. Diddy's celebrity friends and political contacts have all left him out to dry. At this point, Diddy is just a scapegoat for the rest of the entertainment industry. They're blaming him for everything and trying to say that they weren't responsible for any of it. Diddy is alone now, and his career is dead.
They did what they needed to do in this documentary. The whole objective of this documentary was to blame it all on Diddy. The devil made me do it, blame it all on Diddy, and the rest of the industry is nothing like this. Like when Curtis Jackson sat there in his interview with Robin and sat there and said, I did this because I don't want people thinking that the hip hop community is okay with this kind of behavior. I don't want them thinking that, we're just going to be silent while all of this is going on. Like, we're okay with this kind of behavior. And my thing is huh? So now you speaking for all of hip hop, and all of hip hop is uncomfortable with this. Meanwhile, you got people like Ja Rule who, on the low key, allegedly, Gene Deal has exposed for having his own nude tryst freak-offs with Diddy.
And then there's the spiritual side of the story. These elites are addicted to power, and they want to humiliate others. Diddy was pure evil.
Yeah, it's really wild, man. Evil is a real thing, you know? Nobody wants to believe, because if you believe in the devil, right? If you believe in Satan, you believe in something that's silly. Like most people believe, a lot of people believe in God. If you ask people, do you believe in God? Yeah, well, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Okay, well, do you believe in the devil? Most people will say no. But do you believe in evil acts? Well, yeah, well, people certainly do evil things. Well, where do you think that comes from? If evil is real, what is it about us that makes us want to deny the possibility that there's some nefarious force that is in human beings, that influences human beings? It's not as simple as like some people are bad, some people are good. No, maybe evil is a real element that you have to fight in life. And that maybe this is just something that's been documented all throughout history, but our arrogance and our secular society wants to keep us from recognizing that as an actual factor. And that's why it gets through.
Joe Rogan didn't just break down Diddy's case. He exposed a pattern. And once 50 Cent's documentary laid everything out, it became clear this story goes far beyond one man. The real question now is, who else is about to be exposed?